Hello there, and welcome back to my channel, my Lioness Journey. My name is Nichelle. Today I just want to have let's have a one-on-one chat, or well, if you're watching, if you sit next to someone, yeah, we're having a one-on-one even though they're sitting next to you. But let's have a chat here. If you want to go grab something to drink, then do so. But I do want to speak with you all about something that I like to do, and I like to encourage, and that is an overall reflection of your life. And when I say of your life, not your entire life, but the life that you live and the decisions that you made from the beginning of the year all the way to the end. And what better time to do this? Well, for me, I love to do this towards the end of the year. When I'm posting this video, it should be posted on December the 1st, so it's the end of the year. It's December the 1st, 2021. Now, you may not be watching this until God knows when, but that's when I posted the video. And when it gets close to the end of the year, I like to do some reflections on the decisions that I made, both what I would deem as good or bad, or even I don't really like saying good or bad, but for lack of better words, I'll just stick with that. But to reflect over those decisions that were made from January until now. So I'll start with you all. When you reflect back, starting from the beginning of the year until now, are you happy with the harvest? Are you happy with the harvest you have received from the seeds that you've sown? Do you see any results? And if you do see any results, are these results significant either way based on the seeds you sown? And would you do anything different? Would you make different choices? Would you do more of something, less of something, totally remove something altogether? And thankfully, we're just posing these type of questions that every day we wake up, we have an opportunity to make a different choice, to make a different decision, to start something new, or to stop doing something that we feel like is destructive or not beneficial or counterproductive. We have the ability to do so when we rise up every day. If we do not like our own harvest, we have the ability to change the seeds that we sow so that we can reap a different or a better harvest. And there's a saying, I don't know if it goes exactly like this, but basically the saying is like, the seeds that you sow today, you don't eat of that harvest today, you eat of it later. You eat of it whenever, but it's definitely something that's coming in the future. So you have to be very careful about the seeds that you sow today, so that way when tomorrow comes, then you're eating off of the harvest that's going to be the most beneficial for yourself and for your situation. When I look at decisions that I've made throughout the year, overall I am satisfied. However, there are some things that I wanted to do this year that I did not, for whatever reason. I have different reasons, and I really wanted to do these things, and it's something that I'm like, okay, what I'm doing is I'm going back to those particular topics of what's a priority and what's important to me, and really sitting down and evaluating what excuses or justifications that I gave to why I could not do these things, and are these justifications valid? If they're not really valid, then how could I improve in that area? What is it that I could do or change to be able to achieve the goals that I set for myself for this year? One of the major things I did this year that I am very, very proud of myself of, and that is follow through with my divorce. My divorce was final in May of 2020. Now, any of you watching this, maybe some of you made a decision I'm about to say, and hopefully it was the right thing for you. But I do feel like even if it so-called wasn't the right thing, it still was, because you had to go back to find out what you needed to find out to get the closure or clarification you needed for your life. But going through that divorce was very powerful, because I had already separated the year before, 2020. You have some people, and this is the decision that I'm talking about, they'll get all the way up to the divorce, the time to make it final, and not even because of true love or that marriage is really worth it, but more because of fear and convenience and comfort with just being with that person, of fear of being alone. They choose to stay in that situation, and so they're like, I'm not going to find anything better, or, well, at least here I know what I'm getting, even though I'm not happy or I'm being mistreated. And they would not follow through with a divorce, and they'll try to reconcile with the person. And I could firmly and boldly speak that it is my true belief that if I wanted to try to make that marriage work, even though it couldn't have, I wouldn't even be here. I would literally not be here. I probably would have passed away from some severe illness or something, but I wouldn't be here. But it's no doubt in my mind that if I went back to him during that time and say, hey, I changed my mind, I don't want a divorce, let's try and make it work, that he would have said yes, because I'm the one that finally initiated it and stuck with it. Was something that when we were married, we talked about throughout the years, like, in the arguments, I'm going to divorce you. And I remember saying that when that day finally comes to me, I'm never looking back. I'm just letting you know that if I ever make that decision and I'm at a fed up point, I'm never going back. And it felt good to follow through with that decision. It was one of the best decisions that I made for my life and for my children's lives. I think about, I wouldn't even be sitting here today. I'm healing and growing and encouraging other people, not just women, but men as well, to go on a personal self-love journey or a healing journey. I'm speaking to the souls, not the gender, to anyone that has dealt with pain, anything like that. So that was one of the best decisions that I made, and I feel like it would not only be rewarding for myself, but also rewarding for other souls that I touch along this path. As far as other things, I've been, consistently trying to push my channel, work on my channel. I've had some hiccups. I've dealt with death in the family. But even through, even before the deaths, we're dealing with anxiety or depression. Allowing that and deciding to get up. Making a decision to get up and push through. If it's a day where I can't, my kids have to fend for themselves. They're old enough. They know how to cook certain foods for themselves or put some in the oven or whatever. Then they have to do that. But then sometimes to get up and push through and say, you know what? I got to get up today. I have got to encourage myself. I can't wait and depend on someone, making those decisions and sowing those seeds. And because I'm sowing those seeds, I feel myself getting stronger and stronger. Also working on some entrepreneurial, I can't ever say that word properly, it's like a tongue twister for me, entrepreneurial endeavors, working on that. And finally, and it's something that I started working on last year, but continue to work on this year. Not last year, I'm wrong, not 2020. Well, yeah, as far as the ideal phase of it, but really actively working on it this year, and very proud of that. And so, of course, I'm a human being. Well, I'm having a human experience at least. And there are things as far as working out, that I really want to get better on is that I want to really make that an area of importance to do, to something to be consistent with, and implementing that in my routine. I don't make New Year's resolutions, but it is something that I'm looking at this is an area of importance, and this is something that I have to do. I have to plant those good seeds so that later on, not just when, if I live to see the next December or whatever, not so that just that I'm healthy then, but it's a lifestyle. It is something that I'm continuing to do. And for all the dreams I have for myself, that I'm healthy enough in my body to be able to fulfill the dreams that I have for myself, that I'm able to have the energy to be active. But not just that, but to also know how to be balanced. So today I encourage you to do your own type of progress report, because that's what I do for myself. Do your own type of progress report. Think about the questions I asked earlier in this video, and be truthful with yourself. The seeds you planted starting from January of this year all the way until now, and now you're starting to see the harvest of January, February, March, the spring months, the summer months. And now that we're in the fall going towards the winter season, are you satisfied with your harvest? What are your areas of weakness that you can improve upon? And do those areas require you to reach out to someone to assist you in becoming stronger in those areas? Where are you strong, and how could you use that to help you in your areas that you may fall a little short on? What is it that you could do different so that you're not singing the same song come every December or every year? And every year is not, next year is going to be better. Next year is going to be better. I used to hear that in my marriage. Next year we're going to do this. Next year we're going to do this. And next year never came. And that's one of the things that, as far as when I sow the seeds that I sow now as a single woman raising my children, like, okay, it's not going to keep being next year. Let's start now. This is what I have right now, this moment. So let's start now, so that if I live to see the next year, then I could truly fulfill or have manifested the things that I said this year would manifest the next year. So yeah, and when you're doing this reflection, be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. You can't do what you don't know, right? The only thing you could do is improve and do better once you know better. So be kind and be gentle with yourself while holding yourself accountable. That's my advice. So I hope you got some great takeaways from this. And if you feel like you know someone else that could benefit from the message that I brought to you all today, please forward them this video. I'm asking that if you enjoyed this video, you give it a thumbs up. And if you feel compelled in your heart and your soul and your spirit to subscribe to my channel, I ask that you do so. I would greatly appreciate it. And that's all I have for you all today. Thank you a bunch for stopping by, and goodbye for now.